I used to be so cautious. I'd look both ways before doing almost anything, like the walls around me might as well be windows or have eyes and ears and mouths to tell my secrets. I guess freshman year is where it really started to go downhill. That's when I began to find myself searching for safety in other people's pillows. Wherever I'd happened to fall asleep that night, that was my momentary home. I remember being in the ocean at night with Taya and the salt water, almost brushing our hair. I remember writing a lot about complacency in him, because I'd met a man with an explosive soul, and I was electric, and we liked it that way. But the good times of the past tended to hurt more than the bad times of the present, which was frustrating. Rock and roll was kind of sending us insane. I was a sinner. I guess we all really were, but not a very popular one. I don't know. The Eagles and Childish Gambino and Lana seemed to tell my story better than I could. I never really understood why my friends, and I mostly, just seemed so undeniably self-destructive. I always figured it had something to do with my lack of a set personality, because I'd often find myself torn between being a good big sister and missing out on all of the adventures that life could offer a girl as reckless as I seemed to be. The people who understand that about you are ultimately going to be your rocks. There's no real point in trying to explain yourself to someone who's never going to be hurt or never has been hurt. They don't understand what it's like to lose and then fall down and lose something else, fall down some more, until eventually we can't even remember how to pick ourselves back up. So we just don't. My obsession with not being tied down, it's somehow been my greatest gift and my biggest fear simultaneously. And I guess that's why I'm never able to get close to people. I mean, not that many. Especially the kids in my class, who I saw every day for 4 years, because I'm too in love with the complexity of freedom. I couldn't let myself compromise that entity with the side effects of losing people. So I just never got people in the first place. I don't know. An unfortunate series of events, I guess. You know, divorce, take a step back. Loss of a teammate, take a step back. Drug addictions, breakups, take another step back. Close family members dying way too young. Take a huge step back. Even something as natural as human sexuality had me twisted. Like, how can I be in love with both a boy and a girl at the same time? I take a step back. Until eventually, you've taken so many steps back from all this just life happening. You lose touch with yourself. And that's just high school. Walking down crowded halls and sitting in crowded rooms on crowded couches, and still feeling so alone. And the worst part is knowing that it's nobody's fault but your own, because you just live life in your headphones and you leave scars on your arms that don't actually mean anything. And that's when we need our rocks to remind us that there is one goal: creating an individual world for ourselves where we can experience both our darkest and our brightest desires, and believing in them. That's what freedom always really comes down to, is not caring at all, ever, what anybody else thinks. It's like a placement of power type thing. Determining where to direct good and bad energy was huge. Probably the biggest thing that high school can teach you. If you asked me how I'm so comfortable bearing my soul in front of thousands of people, I really couldn't tell you why. Except for maybe the fact that it's one of the many sad, soulful symptoms of just being an artist. That's all I ever really wanted. To make my life into a work, into a painting. And tomorrow, as we walk across that stage, I can't wait to pick